You're streaming CBS News Bay Area.
Thanks for being with us this Tuesday. I'm Ann Makovic, and here's a look at some of our news headlines this morning. Any minute now, one of the strongest Atlantic hurricanes in history is going to make landfall in Jamaica. Hurricane Melissa is a catastrophic Category 5 storm, packing winds up to 185 miles per hour. Forecasters say the storm is bringing torrential rain and a storm surge of up to 13 feet. Melissa is the strongest storm ever known to hit the island. A traffic stop turned deadly in San Jose. Sheriff's deputies say they pulled over a man at around 7 last night and that he was armed with a knife. Deputies then shot and killed him. This happened near College Drive and Fruitdale Avenue, a few blocks from Sherman Oaks Elementary. And a manhunt underway for a murder suspect who was mistakenly released from jail. 20-year-old Isaiah Hamon Andrews is accused of killing a man in Seattle. Authorities say he was supposed to be extradited from Martinez to Washington State, but was mistakenly released last week. The sheriff's office believes he is no longer in the area. All right, let's get a check on that first alert forecast and the latest on Hurricane Melissa. Meteorologist Jessica Birch tracking the path of that storm through the Caribbean.
And we're monitoring those tracks very closely. This is the spaghetti model forecast, just kind of showing you all the different computer models and where it's leaning towards. Of course, it will continue to track north. Hurricane warnings are in effect right now in Jamaica, Cuba, and the Bahamas, and that's what we're keeping a close eye on this morning as it pushes over the island of Jamaica. Let's head a little bit more closer to home, though. I want to pull up the Bay Area map and talk about some things that are going on for us here locally. We're starting to warm up. Yesterday, we were in the 70s, widespread throughout the Bay Area, from Santa Rosa stretched down into San Jose. Now, let's head all the way over into places like Livermore and Fremont. You can even zoom in there, Simon. As we take a look at daytime highs today and tomorrow, we are gearing up for some warmer conditions. It's a beautiful day to get out there and get some fresh air. Coastal conditions look great. And we're also talking about daytime highs up to around 8 degrees above average, stretched all the way down into the Santa Clara Valley, about 11 degrees above average into Redwood City. So a great day. Beautiful light offshore winds. If you remember yesterday, we were seeing clear skies anywhere from the coast all the way off into our inland spots. Today, looking very similar. And that's the case widespread throughout the Bay Area. But as you take a look at the next 7 days, we're going to see some small day-to-day changes. We're going to warm up just a smidge more by tomorrow as high pressure ridges in. We'll start to cool down as we get closer to our Halloween forecast. 60s as early as Thursday, and then we average out back into the 70s heading into this weekend. It's a pretty calm weather forecast for us here in the Bay Area this week, and nothing to complain about. Think about it. We're wrapping up the month of October with 80s and 70s on tap for us here in the Bay Area. Beautiful conditions for Halloween. Of course, make sure those kiddos have a jacket ready to go when they go trick-or-treating on Friday. Once we head into this weekend, November 1st, November 2nd, we're still holding on tight to 70s and 80s. And that's the best part about living here in the Bay. We all know that. We have some of the best weather here in the country. We're going to continue to keep a close eye on our friends in Jamaica this morning. As we head into the afternoon hours, we'll give you live updates. For now, I'm going to send it back over to you.
Yeah, and Hurricane Melissa slamming Jamaica right now. It is a Category 5, threatening to devastate the island nation. Here's some video of the strong winds hitting the island, with gusts expected to reach up to 185 miles per hour. Officials are already calling this the storm of the century for Jamaica. Landslides, flooding, and numerous power outages have already been reported. This is satellite footage of the storm. It's been extremely slow moving, but it is one of the most intense Atlantic hurricanes on record. The Red Cross says Melissa could affect 1.5 million people. For Jamaican Americans living here in the Bay Area, it is difficult to watch the storm's destruction with friends and family on the island, some 3,000 miles away at Sweet Finger Jamaican Restaurant in Oakland. They are closely tracking Melissa as they check in on their loved ones.
I was just watching some videos of the rain, and it's, looking bad. Send a text to my uncle's wife, and just praying. I have a lot of hopes, a lot of confidence that Jamaica will rise again. It will even be better, stronger than before.
And there might be some sort of fundraiser in the future at Sweet Finger Restaurant, but for now, it is just a waiting game. For all the latest developments on Hurricane Melissa's path through the Caribbean, head to our website, kpix.com, or download the free CBS News app. In San Jose, police are investigating a deadly shooting during a traffic stop. Sheriff's deputies killed a man whom they say pulled a knife on them. It happened at around 7:30 last night near College Drive and Fruitdale Avenue. Our Veronica Macias has more details on exactly what happened.
Investigators with the San Jose Police Department were here gathering information and evidence all night in this shooting that involved a deputy with the Santa Clara County Sheriff's Office. As for the suspect, not much is known other than deputies saying that he was allegedly armed with a knife. And if you take a close look, you could see that he was driving a small burgundy-colored sedan, and deputies seem to have pinned him in. It happened at about 7:30 yesterday evening. Deputies attempting to pull over the driver for unknown reasons. He again allegedly was armed with a knife. There are no details provided by police or deputies about the moments that unfolded. We know that the suspect was taken to an area hospital where he later died as a result of his injuries by law enforcement. No deputies appear to have been hurt in this incident. Meanwhile, the investigation is in the hands of San Jose police. They will be releasing information at some point later today.
Now, the sheriff's office says that deputies tried using several less lethal tools and projectiles, but that they were forced to open fire after that suspect charged toward them. Day 28 of the government shutdown, and the impact keeps growing. Today, thousands of essential airport workers are missing their first full paycheck while flight delays stack up and that shutdown stalemate drags on. That includes millions of Americans who rely on food assistance, now facing real uncertainty with November benefits on the line. The USDA says it can't issue SNAP payments next month. That's leaving more than 40 million people in limbo. Food banks expect demand to surge, and families already struggling now facing tough choices.
I'll have to ask my children to help me.
And what is...
That's an awful feeling.
How so?
For them to have to help me.
Even in...
It's a little tough to think about sometimes.
A proposal in the Senate would fund SNAP during the shutdown, but no word yet on when or if lawmakers will vote on it. With food assistance in jeopardy nationwide, our local counties are stepping up with emergency funding to help people in need. County supervisors in Alameda approved a $10 million investment to fight hunger using Measure W funds to support county food bank and senior meal programs. Combined with earlier funding, that is $16.5 million going toward food security. And in Napa County, Board of Supervisors just declared a local emergency. The board unanimously approved spending $1 million on emergency food assistance over the next 2 months. Under the plan, the Napa Valley Community Foundation will partner with the county's Health and Human Services Agency to hand out grocery gift cards to low-income families who rely on federal benefits. Still ahead here on CBS News Bay Area, we are 1 week away from that special election on Prop 50. Now, a former governor is hitting the campaign trail against it. You know him. We're going to hear from both sides of the redistricting fight. Plus, we're going to meet an East Bay woman living with a rare disease that's most common in Central Valley farm workers.
How did you come in contact with it?
That is the question. Nobody really knows.
How dogs could be key in predicting the spread of valley fever.
beautiful day for us here in the Bay Area. We're gearing up for 80s today in some of our inland spots like the East Bay and all the way down into the Santa Clara Valley with sunny skies and light offshore winds giving us nice clear conditions widespread throughout the Bay Area. So it's going to be a nice mild day today and tomorrow as we're gearing up for this Halloween forecast right around the corner. We're expecting 70s for our daytime highs on Friday for our inland spots. You make your way over into the Bay, similar trend, just a little bit cooler. Low 70s on tap for us for Friday afternoon. It'll be cool into the evening hours tonight, so grab that jacket.
Amazon making some of its biggest job cuts in the company's history. The company plans to cut 14,000 corporate jobs. Amazon says it is part of an internal restructuring to prepare for the adoption of AI technology. The company has more than 350,000 corporate employees, so the move impacts about 4% of its staff. Amazon has offices in Sunnyvale, Santa Clara, East Palo Alto, and San Francisco. California's special election just 1 week away, and on the ballot is Prop 50, which could affect the balance of power in Congress. Both sides are ramping up their fight, and that includes a former California governor. Lauren Thompson reports he's become one of the leading voices against Prop 50.
Former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger is warning voters against the proposal to redraw California's congressional maps. When Schwarzenegger was governor, he was a key backer of the ballot measure that voters approved, establishing California's Independent Redistricting Commission. The goal was to take politics out of map drawing. He told CNN this weekend Californians would be cheated if Prop 50 passed.
And it saddens me to see that we're going in the opposite direction rather than having an independent commission draw the district lines. And so, Jake, I have to tell you that, when you think about this trying to out-cheat each other rather than outperform each other, it's all between Democrats and Republicans. And the ones that are getting left behind are the people.
Prop 50 would give lawmakers a one-time power to adjust districts now instead of waiting until after the next census in 2030. Local supporters say the goal is to add 5 more Democratic seats in the House next year amid an already contentious midterm battle for power on Capitol Hill.
I think they are going to make the decision to support Prop 50 because they understand that it's necessary in order for their voices to be equally represented in Washington, D.C. in 2026. Voters in California are sophisticated enough to understand that this is a moment in time with Prop 50 that they have to make a hard decision, but it's a decision where their input in redistricting using the independent commission will be retained and will be used again in 2030.
But Schwarzenegger argues changing the rules mid-cycle and for political gain risks damaging voter trust.
The American people get cheated on this whole thing. That is really the problem here. I understand that the Democrats and Republicans have to fight about this, but the ones that are not really getting anything out of this is the people of America. I think that if you want to really fight for democracy, why would you go and destroy the Constitution in California, tear it up, and go redo it, do the whole thing? So to me, it just doesn't make any sense at all, the whole thing.
Mail-in ballots are already out and early voting is underway statewide. Voters have until next Tuesday to decide. And of course, we're going to be tracking the special election results live on November 4th after the polls close. You can also stream us live on the free CBS News app and at kpix.com. Today, a community is remembering a Southern California sheriff's deputy killed in the line of duty. Investigators say that suspect shot at deputies in San Bernardino County yesterday as they responded to a domestic violence call. The gunfire hit and killed Deputy Andrew Nunez. After the shooting, authorities say that suspect took off on a motorcycle, leading authorities on a pursuit, hitting speeds close to 200 miles per hour. Eventually, an off-duty deputy in their personal car hit him and knocked him off his bike. Last night, the community lined the street in honor of Deputy Nunez.
And from what I understand, he was a young father, and it's sad he's not coming home.
Deputy Nunez had been with the department for 6 years. He is survived by his wife and their 2-year-old daughter. A permanent honor is in the works for a beloved East Bay World War II veteran. The Martinez City Council approved a statue of Papa Jake Larson, the D-Day survivor turned TikTok star who died earlier this year. That statue is going to be installed in front of City Hall at Plaza Ignacio, privately funded with the Best Defense Foundation overseeing donations. Organizers say it's going to cost about $200,000. Renderings showed the 7-foot-tall bronze Papa Jake striking his signature pose.
And he loved to hold his hat up with, up in the air as a sign of respect and to honor those. I saw him do it when we went to Normandy for the 75th anniversary. He held his hat up to all of his fallen comrades over there. And it is absolutely the perfect pose.
Oh, it was Papa Jake's son there. He said that his father was celebrated and recognized around the world. He used TikTok to share memories of the war, with some of his videos receiving millions of views.
He's brought the whole family along with him on this magic carpet ride with all of his different adventures and being honored at so many different places. We've had many opportunities that we would never have without my dad's celebrity stardom.
Papa Jake's statue will be unveiled on Veterans Day next year. Valley fever is on the rise in California. The disease is caused by fungus that grows in soil, and it can infect both people and animals. Our Kara St. Cyr talked with a woman from Danville who doesn't know how she was exposed to the fungus, and researchers at UC Davis say dogs may hold the answer to how the disease is spread.
Kylie Couillard couldn't explain her symptoms. Neither could her doctors.
I probably had at least 5 or 6 hospital stays. The first time was a month, and then after that, it was usually 2 weeks or 10 days.
She had nausea, severe bloating, and rashes covering her arms.
I didn't really know if I was ever going to have a normal life.
Endless Google searches leading to dead ends.
Yeah.
But after several hospital stays and a string of misdiagnoses, a breakthrough.
I spent a month there before they figured out that it was valley fever.
Valley fever is a fungal infection caused by breathing in spores found in soil. People who farm, work in construction, or live in rural areas are most at risk.
How did you come in contact with it?
That is the question. Nobody really knows.
But rarely, people like Kylie, who do none of these things, may get infected.
Good boy.
Jane Sykes at UC Davis thinks dogs can help us understand why.
Dogs, so we've just finished these studies looking at dog test results over the last 10 years. And the interesting thing about this disease is it's actually quite difficult to diagnose.
There wasn't a lot of data on dogs getting infected, but Sykes started compiling that information, effectively creating a map of where valley fever spreads.
We were finding examples of valley fever in places where we wouldn't normally expect it to occur based on human reporting data.
Places like Colorado, Idaho, even the Bay Area show traces of the fungus, giving healthcare professionals a plan to educate.
And I'll be taking it for the rest of my life.
So instances like Kylie's may happen less often.
Just one.
CDC.
Just one.
CDC data shows the number of valley fever cases in California has risen steadily over the past quarter century. In 1998, the state reported just over 700 cases, and in 2024, there were more than 12,000. Still ahead here on CBS News Bay Area, criminal defendants awaiting trial could be released because there just isn't anyone to represent them. The blame game over an unprecedented backlog of cases.
It's a beautiful day to get out there and get some fresh air. Such a great day also along our coast, too. I mean, taking a look one more time at those daytime highs, we're in the upper 60s today in Half Moon Bay and Pacifica, 70s into the city of San Francisco. 70s the moment you pass that Bay Bridge, which you see right behind me, that live look from the rooftop here at KPIX. It's a beautiful sunny day for us today outside. Great conditions to get some fresh air. And I want to talk about the next 7 days. We have beautiful weather on tap for us. We're talking about 70s today and tomorrow. 60s, a little bit cooler for our Thursday setup. And then by Halloween, we average right back out to the 70s for our friends in the San Francisco, all the way off into our inland spots too. Now you make your way over into some of our coastal communities. Of course, we're going to see a little bit cooler conditions, and then into those overnight hours we go on Halloween forecast. You're definitely going to want to have that jacket ready to go for those kiddos when they head outside. But heading into this weekend's forecast, 70s and 80s are still on tap for us. Back to you.
Well, the district attorney and public defender in San Francisco engaged in a public war of words. It all centers around a backlog of cases that began stacking up when the pandemic forced courts to close. Well, that problem has not gone away, and now court officials say they're going to have to release some defendants who are awaiting trial. Brad Hamilton heard from both sides.
A growing backlog of unheard criminal cases has reached a tipping point. Last week, the Superior Court of San Francisco announced that it might have to start releasing some defendants whose trial wait exceeds the mandatory 45-day deadline because they have no attorneys to represent them. The courts cited the public defender's office for their refusal to take on new cases in recent months. Back in May, the office, which provides legal representation to those who can't afford a lawyer, warned that it would be unable to take on misdemeanor cases 1 day a week because of its caseload. But the man in charge of that office, Mano Raju, says the district attorney's office is at fault.
A 60% increase in cases filed since 2021. There's been a 57% increase in the active misdemeanor caseload over the last 6 years, and there is a 40% increase in the active felony case over the last 6 years. There's been a dramatic increase.
But San Francisco District Attorney Brooke Jenkins fired back, saying her office is filing more cases in its push to clean up the streets.
I have misdemeanor lawyers right now who have 225 cases each. They are staffed equally with the public defender's office, who only handles roughly about 75% of those misdemeanor cases. So if anything, I've got more of a staffing crisis than they do.
The public defender countered with this.
Prosecutor's office has $31 million more than the public defender's office.
But the DA says that's for a reason.
It's not an apples to apples comparison. We do more work because, again, we handle every single case filed in the city and county of San Francisco for state level crime. They do not.
In this war of words, both sides agree that this decision by the courts is a problem for a city trying to regain the public's confidence and safety. A fix is needed. The DA says it's on the courts and the public defender to catch up.
The fix is that the courts need to be more efficient in the way that they manage cases coming through the system. They need to make sure that they hold the public defender to their obligation to be appointed for our indigent defendants.
But the public defender says it's the DA's office that needs to cut back.
Facts speak for themselves. The increase in the number of filings, the increase in the active cases have contributed largely to the staggering caseload that public defenders are carrying.
Meanwhile, clerks at the San Francisco Superior Court are planning to launch a strike tomorrow. Last week, they were outside the court picketing ahead of the work stoppage. They say short staffing has forced clerks to take on an unimaginable caseload and are doing jobs that they're not trained to do. We reached out to the court for comment and have not heard back. Coming up in our next half hour here on CBS News Bay Area, a British Muslim political commentator arrested at SFO, his visa revoked over criticism of Israel. Now, this is bringing a fight over free speech to the forefront.
This is a disturbing trend. It's very post 9/11.
Your community, your news, powered by KPIX. CBS News Bay Area. Watch anywhere, anytime. Stay informed and connected. Trusted local news when you want it. CBS News Bay Area. Watch free on any device. You're streaming CBS News Bay Area.
Thanks for being with us this Tuesday. I'm Ann Makovic, and here's another look at some of our news headlines. Breaking news from Jamaica, where Hurricane Melissa has just made landfall. It is a devastating Category 5 storm, bringing winds up to 185 miles per hour and a storm surge of up to 13 feet. The Hurricane Center is warning of flash flooding and numerous landslides. It's the strongest direct hit to the island in at least 174 years when record keeping began. Traffic stop turned deadly in San Jose. Sheriff's deputies, pulled over a man at around 7 o'clock last night. They say he was armed with a knife. Sheriff's office says the deputy opened fire after the suspect charged toward them. Happened near College Drive and Fruitvale Avenue, a few blocks from Sherman Oaks Elementary. Let's take a break and go to weather.
We're monitoring those tracks very closely. This is the spaghetti model forecast, just kind of showing you all the different computer models and where it's leaning towards. Of course, it will continue to track north. Hurricane warnings are in effect right now in Jamaica, Cuba, and the Bahamas, and that's what we're keeping a close eye on this morning as it pushes over the island of Jamaica. Let's head a little bit more closer to home, though. I want to pull up the Bay Area map and talk about some things that are going on for us here locally. We're starting to warm up. Yesterday, we were in the 70s, widespread throughout the Bay Area, from Santa Rosa stretched down into San Jose. Now, let's head all the way over into places like Livermore and Fremont. You can even zoom in there, Simon. As we take a look at daytime highs today and tomorrow, we are gearing up for some warmer conditions. It's a beautiful day to get out there and get some fresh air. Coastal conditions look great, and we're also talking about daytime highs up to around 8 degrees above average, stretched all the way down into the Santa Clara Valley, about 11 degrees above average into Redwood City. So a great day beautiful light offshore winds. If you remember yesterday, we were seeing clear skies anywhere from the coast all the way off into our inland spots. Today, looking very similar. And that's the case widespread throughout the Bay Area. But as you take a look at the next 7 days, we're going to see some small day-to-day changes. We're going to warm up just a smidge more by tomorrow as high pressure ridges in. We'll start to cool down as we get closer to our Halloween forecast. 60s as early as Thursday, and then we average out back into the 70s heading into this weekend. It's a pretty calm weather forecast for us here in the Bay Area this week, and nothing to complain about. Think about it. We're wrapping up the month of October with 80s and 70s on tap for us here in the Bay Area. Beautiful conditions for Halloween. Of course, make sure those kiddos have a jacket ready to go when they go trick-or-treating on Friday. Once we head into this weekend, November 1st, November 2nd, we're still holding on tight to 70s and 80s. And that's the best part about living here in the Bay. We all know that. We have some of the best weather here in the country. We're going to continue to keep a close eye on our friends in Jamaica this morning. As we head into the afternoon hours, we'll give you live updates. For now, I'm going to send it back over to you.
All right, and I have regrouped. Thanks for that, Jessica. More now on Hurricane Melissa, which has made landfall in Jamaica as a catastrophic Category 5 storm. This hurricane has been extremely slow moving, but it has now made landfall on the southwestern coast. Jason Allen is in Jamaica's capital of Kingston.
Pretty gusty, pretty windy. Jamaica's shoreline is being overwhelmed with winds gusting more than 60 miles per hour. Dangerous flooding and storm surge projected up to 13 feet as Hurricane Melissa thrashes the island. Inside the storm Monday, hurricane hunters from NOAA were forced to abort their data collecting mission because of severe turbulence. This video shows what crews were able to capture before the scrapped flight. On the ground, mandatory evacuations forced hundreds into shelters.
We're all buttoned down and locked up. The thing that concerns us the most is mostly just the wind and the rain.
Those dangerous conditions closed Jamaica's airports when Melissa was approaching, leaving many vacationers stranded until the historic storm passes through the Caribbean.
We're trying to be as prepared as we can.
Bridget and Wayne Todd are in Jamaica on their honeymoon. The North Carolina couple has experienced hurricanes in the U.S. before, but say those are no match for Melissa.
We've never had one to this level. My biggest concern is really just the damage it'll do afterwards and us being stranded out here for possible weeks.
Yeah, when this storm just skirted by Haiti and the Dominican Republic, at least 4 people were killed. This one's going to make direct impact on Jamaica. And we know in the days leading up to the storm, the government has said already they know of 3 deaths that are related to this. That was mostly from people who were out cutting trees or trying to remove tree limbs. And there were many people injured falling off of rooftops in preparation for this storm. They are telling people right now, even in Kingston, where the wind is down and the rain is down right now, stay inside until this storm passes by the island.
And the Prime Minister of Jamaica warning that, quote, there is no infrastructure in the region that can withstand a Category 5. And officials urging people to stay indoors with catastrophic damage expected on the island. Reports of a potential shakeup at Immigration and Customs Enforcement. 2 sources telling CBS News up to a dozen directors who oversee immigration field offices could be replaced with Border Patrol agents to speed up the pace of deportations. A planned shakeup at ICE would be a major leadership overhaul, affecting roughly half of the agency's 25 field offices. Homeland Security has not confirmed any personnel changes. Now to an arrest at SFO that is igniting a fight over free speech and who's allowed into the country. The case involves Sami Hamdi, a British Muslim political commentator who often criticizes the Israeli government. The Trump administration revoked his visa, but his supporters say he was targeted for his view on the war in Gaza. And as John Ramos reports, how it came to the attention of the State Department is another part of the story.
The arrest of Sami Hamdi is raising questions about the limits of free speech when it comes to immigration policy, but it's also raising questions about the role of social media influencers in driving those policies.
They're physically struggling to take Gaza. They've demolished it. They've bombed all the buildings, and still they can't take it.
Sami Hamdi is not shy when it comes to criticizing the state of Israel and its military campaign in Gaza. The British citizen is a frequent media commentator who was traveling on a visitor visa on a speaking tour of the U.S. He had just given a speech in Sacramento on Saturday night and was heading for another in Florida when ICE agents arrested him at SFO on Sunday morning. Rashad Norzay is executive director of the Council on American Islamic Relations, which sponsored the address in Sacramento.
He's had a very consistent message, and that's why we brought him here. He's spoken very vocally against the Gaza genocide, and he's been calling on the Muslim community to continue engaging through political processes, through every legal measure, social media activism, protests, whatever it might be.
But the federal government sees him as more than that. Department of Homeland Security spokesperson Tricia McLaughlin said in an email, quote, "Under President Trump, those who support terrorism and undermine American national security will not be allowed to work or visit this country. It's common sense." End quote.
This is a disturbing trend. It's very post 9/11, war on terror. Anyone that speaks up critically, and in the past it was against the U.S. government policy. Sadly, now it's anyone that speaks up against the Israeli government policy.
But at the end of her statement, McLaughlin added a link to social media influencer Amy Meck. Her real name is Amy Meckelberg, a right-wing commentator who's been railing against Hamdi's presence in this country, saying, quote, "Remove him, bar re-entry, and force the statute." Professor Bill Hing at the University of San Francisco says he is surprised at the amount of influence online posters may be having on State Department policy.
The fact that the administration is listening to a critic of this gentleman who called up the Secretary of State and said, "Hey, this guy's causing trouble. He's criticizing Israel and our position with respect to the Gaza situation." That's unusual that one person can call and then get this big political machine moving in this direction.
ICE says Hamdi's visa was revoked on Friday, so he was here illegally when they arrested him on Sunday. Professor Hing says there is a provision in immigration law where someone can be removed for taking a position that is contrary to American foreign policy. But it's never been used in this way.
These are the first incidents where that's being used. And the question is going to be, is taking a position critical of Israel, is that in fact contrary to U.S. foreign policy?
CARE California attorneys say they have met with Hamdi in the ICE detention center in McFarland, and they are providing legal representation. This year, the State Department has revoked a number of student visas for college students that have spoken out against Israel's invasion of Gaza. Coming up next here on CBS News Bay Area, these cute animals taking social media by storm, but there is a very dark reality behind it, a CBS News investigation into the illegal smuggling of spider monkeys.
Start your day with us and open your world.
Time to open up those windows and get this day started.
The power of CBS News.
It is a historic day in news.
Taking you around the globe, across the country.
With Federal, live, and
into your community.
To the South Bay, major changes.
And Bay Area weather from a whole new perspective.
Let's head underneath this cloud layer.
CBS News Bay Area's Morning Edition. Weekdays at 6 on KPIX.
Well, it's another beautiful day for us here in the Bay Area. We're gearing up for 80s today in some of our inland spots like the East Bay and all the way down into the Santa Clara Valley with sunny skies and light offshore winds giving us nice clear conditions widespread throughout the Bay Area. So it's going to be a nice mild day today and tomorrow as we're gearing up for this Halloween forecast right around the corner. We're expecting 70s for our daytime highs on Friday for our inland spots. You make your way over into the Bay, similar trend, just a little bit cooler. Low 70s on tap for us for Friday afternoon. It'll be cool into the evening hours tonight, so grab that jacket.
BART riders seeing some changes at the North Berkeley station. The station features new pedestrian and bicycle upgrades. They include two-way cycle tracks, a wider Ohlone Greenway, larger bike lockers, and a raised crosswalk in front of the entrance. City leaders say these are just the first improvements at the station. Hundreds of affordable homes are also on the way.
And I think the North Berkeley BART station is a model of how we can redesign our cities. So hand in hand with creating more homes is making our streets safer for all users, not just for drivers, but just for bicyclists and for pedestrians.
Construction on the BART station housing project is expected to start in 2026. Commuters in Marin County could soon be getting a new spot to refuel. Plans for a Costco gas station in Novato back on the table after the project was suspended 3 years ago. The city reported that the proposed 14-pump station poses no significant environmental impacts, and that is counter to critics' concerns. The Planning Commission is going to hold a hearing on the proposal in early December. Novato had banned all new gas stations, but this Costco plan was actually submitted before that ban was approved. Well, you might have seen some of these videos of baby spider monkeys on your social media feed, but behind those clips, there is a heartbreaking reality. A joint investigation by CBS News and Inside Edition found this growing online fascination is driving a surge in illegal smuggling across the U.S. border. And as David Scheckner reports, law enforcement is struggling to keep up. And a warning, some of the images you're going to see might be difficult to watch.
Be prepared for lots of baby spider monkey content.
One way to get more likes on social media is by posting videos with a crazy cute but endangered baby spider monkey.
I got Apple right here getting ready for a bath.
But all the attention is driving an illegal pet trade, resulting in monkeys poached in the forests of southern Mexico, sold in America, and experts say raised by some people as if they were their child.
You want to change your diaper?
Jim Steinbaugh is a top cop with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service investigating animal smuggling.
We're going to check the vehicle for any type of agricultural products, namely wildlife is what we're looking for.
At the border, 109 baby spider monkeys have been confiscated in the last 2 years. Steinbaugh believes that's just a fraction of what actually gets through. We met with him at the bridge between Brownsville, Texas, and Matamoros, Mexico.
Describe some of the scenarios that the monkeys are found in.
They haven't been given water, they haven't been given food, they've had no medical attention, and to see them treated that way is just terrible.
These investigative photos document the cruelty of how baby spider monkeys are smuggled around the globe, bound, sedated, stuffed into bags. In Mexico, poachers shoot a mother out of a tree with a baby still clinging to her back. And because the moms only give birth every 2 to 4 years, the population is slow to recover.
You're going to have to kill the mothers to get the babies. And then the rest of the family are going to be protective of the mother and the baby as well. So you very well may end up killing dozens of monkeys just to get a few of the babies.
Just to get the little ones.
Just to get the little ones, right.
Steinbaugh focuses on catching smugglers who sell through social media platforms, but it's an uphill battle because law enforcement is understaffed and the penalties are often small.
If you're paying cash for a spider monkey in the parking lot of a big box store, there's something wrong.
I'm putting on a gown because they want to make sure that I don't transmit anything to the monkeys and the monkeys don't transmit anything to me.
Without a mother to protect and teach them, the babies can't be returned to the wild, so agents bring them here to the Gladys Porter Zoo in Brownsville, where this one clings to a stuffed animal as a substitute for his mother.
So we'll put him right up to your chest like that, like carrying a baby.
This little guy's name is Riff, and he needs to be fed every 3 hours.
Slowly feed him. He latches pretty well too.
Yeah, he latched down there real good.
The zoo only has 5 veterinarians to care for 1,600 other animals, including its own collection of spider monkeys. This kind of round-the-clock care is a heavy burden.
If this guy misses his mama, huh?
Yes. And these guys do cling to their mothers for quite a while.
Adorable? Absolutely. But Steinbaugh believes if people understood how brutal the black market trade of spider monkeys is and how law enforcement and zoos are struggling to care for these babies, they would see the truth, that we are loving these animals closer and closer to extinction.
If you care at all about this species, if you don't want them killed in the wild, if you don't want the babies smuggled across the border in these abhorrent conditions, don't make the purchase.
The International Fund for Animal Welfare says that 2 species of spider monkey, the brown-headed and the brown spider monkeys, are critically endangered and on the brink of extinction. Coming up here on CBS News Bay Area, it is a combat sport with no refs, no blood, but plenty of excitement. We're going to meet the creators of the underground event right here in the Bay Area, pitting robots against each other.
It's a beautiful day to get out there and get some fresh air. Such a great day also along our coast, too. I mean, taking a look one more time at those daytime highs, we're in the upper 60s today in Half Moon Bay and Pacifica, 70s into the city of San Francisco. 70s the moment you pass that Bay Bridge, which you see right behind me, that live look from the rooftop here at KPIX. It's a beautiful sunny day for us today outside. Great conditions to get some fresh air. And I want to talk about the next 7 days. We have beautiful weather on tap for us. We're talking about 70s today and tomorrow. 60s, a little bit cooler for our Thursday setup. And then by Halloween, we average right back out to the 70s for our friends in the San Francisco, all the way off into our inland spots too. Now you make your way over into some of our coastal communities. Of course, we're going to see a little bit cooler conditions, and then into those overnight hours we go on Halloween forecast. You're definitely going to want to have that jacket ready to go for those kiddos when they head outside. But heading into this weekend's forecast, 70s and 80s are still on tap for us. Back to you.
In San Francisco, 10,000 people are at Moscone Center for the annual Tech Crunch Disrupt Conference. It is where startups are going to be showing off their latest tech innovations, all part of the Startup Battlefield competition. Some of the technology includes teaching robots using AI, new material to replace steel and concrete in construction, and autonomous vehicles designed specifically to move freights at U.S. ports. The event runs through tomorrow. And in the world of tech, a new combat sport in San Francisco is creating a world where humans and robots coexist. It is called Ultimate Fighting Bots, or UFB. Kevin Coe takes us into the underground world of Robot Fight Club.
They say the first rule of Fight Club is don't talk about it.
This could be the next big gaming thing in the world, you know, the next big UFC.
But it's hard to keep quiet about a new San Francisco sport made by techies, played by techies, tucked away in a basement on Market Street. If you're lucky enough to get a ticket inside, you're taken into a world where humans and robots coexist.
We want to have them like greet people, we want to have them like serve tea, we want to have them, oh, hey buddy, yeah, this is Turbo.
Xenia is the co-founder of Ultimate Fighting Bots, or UFB. She, along with her husband and co-founder, Vitali, love robots. Turbo is their personal humanoid, which they bought about a year ago.
I've done robotics for 10 years before. I've done drones, boats, rovers, industrial arms. Nothing like that I've seen before.
Turbo opened their eyes to what could be possible with humanoids, leading to the UFB.
It combines esports and traditional combat sports.
The robots fighting are controlled by humans using modified PlayStation controllers. They can also be controlled remotely by users watching a live stream. It combines the energy of combat fighting with the latest advancements in tech.
PKSF or like Bay Area.
But for Xenia and Vitali, UFB isn't just an embodiment of San Francisco today. It's also about the world ahead.
Robots are friends. They are here to help us, that if we treat them fairly, that we can actually co-create things together and work more as a team, and there is nothing to fear.